their way into an upset victory. Well, it's Ancient to kick things off. The Brazilian map pick as the pistol round is set to go live.
Yeah, FURIA, all about the pace, all about the aggression here on T-side, and you've got to wonder how are Heroic going to deal with it? Well, at least on the pistol, they're going to deal with a couple of dual Berettas by the looks of it.
I've seen a bit of this from Heroic, I think, in the previous matches as well over Cologne, so I'm excited to see how well this works out for cadiaN and sjuush. Going to set one player in towards the ramp position for Honda as the two Julies set themselves up towards Cheetah. Art gets drawn against First Blood. sjuush kicks things off for the CT side. It continues looking around the corner as Tesses gets caught on the B site, but sjuush is still not done. Double up for him, swing back for the triple, almost catches cadiaN. He's on 5 points of health.
There's a lot of information being given up. The T's are just all stuck out from this lane position, and sjuush is still aggressive in Cheetah. They're going to have to try and trade him.
Still waiting around the corner here. Vini's got the bomb on his back. Molotov also set for him. We'll try driving away with the flashbangs turned away from sjuush. Still ready on the other side of that Cheetah position. He's waiting for Presence to hold. Vini caught off, but Vini still gets the kill back to a 3-on-3 situation. But cadiaN starts moving up, sees yuurih, taps slowly, gets it back to the man advantage for Heroic.
A decent utility usage in terms of the double mollies at Cheetah, but it now means they've got no mollies out for the site itself towards that wood position or in the back lines. And for cadiaN and Vini, they've got to try and clutch a 2v3, and cadiaN's already been gooshed.
45 seconds to the clock. Vini's pushing in. Bomb on his back, will lean up towards ramp, will look out towards the backline entrance alongside cadiaN. Got refreshing cadiaN set into the site defensive. One player at cave, one player at wood. cadiaN's going to move out from cave. Julie's in hand. May have just spotted Vini right there. They see the bomb. They're going to swing together. They'll drop it, and it's all left to cadiaN. 5 points of health for the 1v3 clutch.
Just try and do any further damage, get a pick, and that's pretty much all he's going to find. Rotations are already out here towards the B side. And so low HP, no one's really peeking. There is a little bit of time wasting going on. A couple of shots trying to come through for cadiaN, who needs to get a move on.
10 seconds to get the bomb down. It's pretty much impossible at this stage. You'll flick back. Now there's a player over at wood, but cannot seem to land a kill on any one of the individuals for the Heroic side. Pistol goes their way of the CT forces. And again, the Julies are what strike the most here. sjuush and cadiaN heavily involved towards that Cheetah position. 2 kills on sjuush, 1 for cadiaN. Fantastically done.
It does seem that they do like the dualies. We saw it out on Nuke in that Spirit game, playing towards the top of Hearton City side. So yeah, every now and then get to see something a little bit obstruct. And for Heroic, just a really good defense out on that B side, just making sure they're established in the crossfire. And without that bomb plant, without a massive amount of damage, it's got to be a Glock round.
Julie staying in for cadiaN. SMGs and for Masters brought out for everybody else here. No M4s as of yet, but that can still be upgraded by cadiaN, I think, going forward. Art caught first and foremost by sjuush, who silences 2 other players. Can't quite get the third man. USP will come forward to get that triple. And Refresh also swings up to support the man, so it's sort of the case for us on 1 versus 5. And yeah, as you mentioned, Glock round getting cleaned up very, very effectively here by Heroic.
I was waiting for another ace there, but I guess when he's so low HP, he goes, yeah, teammate, you can just go and get the last couple of kills. No point me losing my FAMAS and get that 2-0 start. FURIA, now an opportunity to get all the rifles in, get those AKs forward. And for Heroic, you can get an AWP straight away out for cadiaN, looking to find the early impact, and rather than take it as a bonus round, they're actually investing quite heavily into this.
There's still SMGs and for Masters, though, so the firepower isn't 100% there, but it still could outlast the likes of FURIA, depending on how they position themselves here. 2 players out mid, 2 players on the B site, 1 man over towards A. sjuush is just going to hold that position down at the back of Temple, and they're going to play fast in towards main. yuurih and co. not wasting any time. Smokes up, sjuush going to try to press them. It does get overwhelmed surely by the AKs. Indeed, yuurih draws first blood. The CT's got a retake.
Very quick indeed for the T side. cadiaN just trying to see if he can find a bit of an angle with that AWP. Should get smoked off.
They can go towards the site itself. And the bomb plant can be secured. Nades involved. They tag Vini at 25. They don't quite get the kill on him, so they can't deny the plant. So Heroic definitively have got to go for the retake. No kits in play for them.
Need to get certainly a kill in quickly, and even a HE going down towards the right position. FURIA aren't really peeking in this post plant.
Oh, they're being very tentative about this, and Heroic might want to think about saving their weapons. The money's still not quite there for them. They can still get a buy-in with only sjuush going down. And time is ticked so far away from here. Tesla's going to get forced back here at Temple. And yeah, this is going to be a safe call here for Heroic. A very, I don't want to say smart call per se, but it does feel like it's the smarter option concerning, considering what you could have lost overall here for the CT side.
It's the right call. I look at it at that sort of situation because really, you're down by 1, you lost the A site so quickly, you don't have kits and don't have a massive amount of utility to work with. There's no backstab coming out towards the A main position either, so there's no way that you can really catch the T side off guard. And for FURIA too, no one over-aggressed. No one got deep Temple out towards CT spawn. No one was looking to initiate a fight, so there was no way they could just even up the numbers.
Such low firepower as well, as you mentioned, a bit of a heavier buy in that one, but still having for Masters and SMGs, so not idealistic here for Heroic. And they can buy back into an M4 here for Tess. They're still rocking mostly for Masters and the MP9. Orbston and Vacadian, his refresh can get caught out here towards mid control. He gets Art. Case Toronto got naded down as well, so HP and man advantage for Heroic.
A very good start for the Danes, just being able to press aggressively out from this mid position. Down, pushing up towards Cheetah himself, and even a bit of a lurk play. sjuush is clearing out the majority of A main.
cadiaN looking up towards window and back to the bottom of mid, but seeing nothing, finding nothing, spraying onto nothing. Vision game, they have got that mid control now for Case Toronto, but you could sneak in a backstab as the rest of the T set themselves up for the B hit.
It all just comes down to the timing. Refresh got a really deep angle. Case Toronto's going to have to look all the way out to that left-hand side of CT.
He's checking all the corners and everything. Obviously, we know that Ancient can be a very awkward map, and Heroic have proven that in the past. I think it was them that got the knife kill in that Spirit game. Catching off T-side players, going too far forward in that Candles angle. Case Toronto ready not to repeat the same mistake. He almost looks away from Refresh, though. Takes some damage, but gets it back to a 4-4.
And there's a lot of players out towards the B side, but that attention needs to be drawn back out towards CT. Down trying to work off with his teammate. Honda finding the trade back. Can't quite follow up.
Doesn't also get away alive here for Stoun's part. cadiaN now left alone in the site. SMG for sjuush is going to try wrap back in towards the mid control. SMG is going to be a little bit late to the party and gets overwhelmed for it. Now they can full send back into the A site. AWP is on rotation, but it won't get here tonight at bomb plant. It could be on for a retake, but again, there's no kit for cadiaN.
Yeah, they've got no smoke to go down to the cross, so this AWP is going to look in.
On top court, Case Toronto the same. 1-on-1 now. yuurih, 46 HP. cadiaN going to start sneaking around towards that mid position or grab the FAMAS. It's not an ideal weapon for this. Oh, AK's dropped towards him. Maybe if he wins back in cave, he can catch an AK of his own right, but smoke to cross, then second defuse. It'll be a hell of an injury if he can put it off. Sees his man, puts the smoke up towards the bomb. Hands a bit ahead of it, but still trying to force forward here, making some noise, tapping that bomb. Wants to spray out for yuurih. He's got to take back in. cadiaN baiting in the kill, but nope. Got to fall back. Got to hold on to that big green. It'll be a second to the board of FURIA as yuurih's patience works wonders for them.
Yeah, so the information must have been that when sjuush came into elbow and tagged up with the MP9 onto yuurih, just go for the FAMAS. We know that he's relatively low, but without that kit, without a massive amount of util, that 1v1 is just played to perfection. And it's just that backstab coming through from Case Toronto, just trying to scramble the rotates ever so slightly. Really, really clinical kill onto Refresh. And even the situation where FURIA are typically in a lot of post plants, we like to see them engaging into a lot of fights, keeping that tempo up, but they've been very, very passive every time they've got the bomb plant.
Flashes over into the very fast mid control for Heroic. Double up set up in for cadiaN is down. cadiaN's already suppressed here. He's got to put a smoke in to try and support himself, but naded out to 29 points of health. Counter nades will come back for the CT side here. cadiaN's on 8 points of HP. This has really not been the greatest at mid plays. He's got to try and escape.
Yeah, they've gone for the complete force up with the double orbs, having a fair bit of influence out towards that mid position. VINI just walking for a walk. Tessus catches him through the smoke.
The Eagle can try force forward, grab the rifle, or look for Honda. Found that AK and gets back out of dodge. Will he pass it off to sjuush? I imagine that's what you might just do here. Yep. FAMAS in the hands of the low HP player. Heroic have the man advantage.
cadiaN's posted on a decent angle. He's got to get at least Molly. Try and force him back.
Couple of players tradable here for the Heroic side. FURIA know this. Walking in with Molotovs down. Honda leaning forward, seeing sjuush. He's traded back by Case Toronto. So 2 for 1. Bomb is close to site. The AWP still finds a pixel on yuurih and drops it. So now Case Toronto and Art, these two players that you highlighted in the pre-game. AWP not on Art this time, but Case Toronto's AK pressing around the corner here towards that main entrance. It's down with the other AWP. Backs up cadiaN, who doubles up and gets the third for Heroic.
Hey, he's looking excited there. He knows how important that round is, because look at what that does to the economy. It's not a complete reset. It's not a double eco status, but there's no money here for a buy. It's going to have to be an eco, a light investment out from FURIA, and even just making the read of playing back passive in the back lines, waiting for that fight to come to him, and just these follow-up rounds getting so damn expensive. cadiaN really performing with the AWP in the early stages of Ancient.
And you say FURIA aren't going to go for a heavy buy, but here's the force-up. Tech 9, CZ, Deagle, AK for yuurih. FURIA pressing onto that lane angle on the defaults. A lot committed to round 6. Could be enough for Heroic to really spiral the lead out of control, and then from there, FURIA will be in deep trouble.
I'm surprised they buy here. They're not on double eco status at all. They're on 1900 loss bonus with a fair bit in the reserve to get a buyer forward, but they're thinking to themselves, we don't want to continue giving them a lead. We want to put pressure on, maybe looking towards a B-side exit. There's only a couple of players here for the city side.
Smoke set in with the T's. Ready to go towards that B play, it seems. A set piece down to the back lines, counter flash in from Refresh, allowing Tesla to peek forward, seeing what is going on, and that's plenty of no. Orp round the corner, sees way too many, cannot hit a shot here. Tessa's going down, and now Stan's going to get overextended upon. Refresh going to try and make a play, but out in the open, he just gets overwhelmed. FURIA taking control of a very scrappy B hole from Heroic.
It just seemed that they got pretty complacent with the aggression for the Danish side. We saw the way in which Teslas just got flashed in towards ramp and just saw contact of so many T-side players. And then even Stan on the side, as soon as you miss one of those AWP shots, you're going to get overwhelmed really quickly. You need that attention to be drawn away. You need the distraction to come in from Refresh. And he tries to come through into the site, but then Stan doesn't find anything, and he's basically in a 1v5.
They'll go to 3-all for FURIA, the force buy working well for them, grabbing some bonus AKs, M4s, AWP for Honda. Probably pass that off to Art in the next round, but yeah, very nicely done round there from FURIA, and Heroic again, just so complacent, so scrappy in that one. Not a big fan of that B-side hold, but to work on something that the FURIA side can exploit going forward. It's 3-all dead even so far here in this matchup, Blake, and well, much like a lot of Heroic's games so far in this tournament, they have been very back and forth to begin.
It could have been a misread with the economy, in all honesty, for Heroic. Maybe not expecting a force buy coming through there from FURIA. And just getting straight rushed is always very difficult to hold over on that B site. You've got to have some decent protocols in play. And unfortunately for them, they got caught flat-footed. Now a situation where even with them, 1900 loss bonus, you've got that AWP, you've got that M4 being saved in. Tactical timeout. Just take that mental reset.
Yeah, right time to do so here for Heroic. Again, scrappy start. Can they turn it into a confident follow-up is the question. Well, definitely not in this round, I don't think. The M4 and AWP saved in, but should be backed up by USPs here unless Tesses wants to go for a force buy. I don't think he does. Upgrade pistols for him, it's down. Refresh got a smoke as well to set a default play in. Out towards that B side to suppress over the B doors. That's it.
Free Ranger out mid this time around for Heroic, and you've got to imagine that in a round like this where you don't have many upgrades, you've got to try and bait in the pistols to set up the rifles, and that's why we're seeing the aggressive ramp play.
VINI tagged, cadiaN wrapping slowly, looking for VINI, and does catch the trade on Refresh's part, so one pistol baiting and one good kill. At least they can get that much here for Heroic, 1-for-1 on the trade counts, and the M4 is waiting for even more out towards main. Honda and yuurih, they're ready for this. Tesses is not. cadiaN gets his pick back in with 1 and 2 big frags. Birdman of Art round of the corner. The Eagle can trade it back to evens again. 2v2 though. Heroic have done damage.
This is very winnable, and especially if they make the right read. cadiaN and Art thinking about taking back this donut control. There's one on A of Stan, and the AWP could be quick on rotation from mid.
He's watching out from mid itself, however. Going to start extending towards candles. Slow walks up from FURIA, just pushing forward with the AWP. Stan's found the M4. Can he creep in behind them? Did he hear the scope of the AWP as well?
It's going to take some time for him to get all the way to elbow, back out from donut. And this play, while it may trap them in, does allow the A side to be open for a fraction.
He could also be out of bad information. If he goes towards window and looks for the hunt over there, they might think they're bracketing in that B site when they're not. But Stan is creeping up towards mid. The donut angle. cadiaN looks away. The AWP gets caught for it. Bomb dropped. Now rotations can get called by the big green of cadiaN. cadiaN has the site. It needs to get the smoke down to the bomb plant soon.
Just get that bomb plan in. Try and see if you can win out the fights, but he needs an aggressive play.
He needs to isolate each individual player. cadiaN. They already be heard there towards CT spawn. cadiaN backed up. Can he round this corner? Can he catch the CT? Time is running short on him. Was that heard? cadiaN baiting in. Stan takes his shots. Wild spray back and forth. cadiaN gets the shot back. And eventually with patient plays, Heroic will take the fourth.
And for FURIA, I feel for them. Like, cadiaN was holding mid for so damn long, and then just when down, starts wrapping back in from elbow and wrapping into mid. cadiaN looks the other way. It's just unfortunate timing, isn't it?
It really is. Like, that's really what it all came down to. Just a bit of unfortunacy there for the Brazilians. Great shooting from cadiaN to start things off, though, and that was ultimately an eco round with saved weapons for Heroic. So nicely done to regain back control of the lead. A tactical's now going to come out for FURIA.
Yeah, just we're getting to a bit of a state where these rounds are back and forth, and it doesn't help the economy game at all for the City perspective, but it also doesn't help the momentum basis for FURIA, knowing that every time you win a decent round, you're not following up, and you get into a position where you feel like you're on the back foot a little bit. Even going into round 8, we're seeing a Deagle upgrade coming through for Honda with the AKs out for everybody else. For Heroic, all they've got to really start focusing in is building up a bank. Testers, Refresh, and sjuush all around sort of that 1k floater or lower.
Yeah, not a lot of cash involved. Or cadiaN tagged through the smoke. Regardless, Refresh gets the kill on the first man. The second one comes easy. Simple stuff for Heroic. Feeling like at least FURIA down to a 5-on-3 and so much map control taken by the CT aggression.
What did I just witness? cadiaN just spammed with the Julies and did 93 points of damage onto cadiaN, which just made that trade so much easier for Refresh. He's now chucked the AWP back over to him, knowing that he's the low HP player. But FURIA, they're fighting for the back foot again.
Trying to work inland here. Key position, especially smokes up. AK ready for stan. Molotov into the back. VINI gives up the shoulder. It allows a spray to come through for stan. 19 HP though. Smoke back to position, ready to try and pre-fire it as well. yuurih finally gets the trade involved, but that's a 3-for-1 that favors Heroic.
And they need more. They need to be able to make a bit of a play. And Honda's been able to get out from mid, but they've got to wait for a sneak play. They've got to wait for at least yuurih to maybe find a bit of an impact. And for Heroic, just the way they're playing this 4v2, they're slowing the clock, they're playing passive. No one is making aggressive duels because it's unnecessary.
Yeah, and yuurih and Honda so siphoned off from each other. They'll try and regroup here at the B split, but the CTs have this on lock. Refresh is AWP set to the back line to deal with Honda the moment he sees him. Footsteps heard on yuurih as well, trying to go for the wall bangs through wood. Molotov in towards the back, trying to force the AWP off angle, but it's not the right angle he's looking in from. Refresh catches the man, all left to yuurih. Facing upon the backstab of cadiaN, and there's Heroic winning yet another round here against FURIA.
And I've got to give praise to Refresh so far in this ancient map. Again, he's a player that's been a little bit disappointing in the group stage so far. 0.77 rating across all of the 2 best-of-3s that he's played so far. He's done really well with opening man advantages, some of these trade frags, and even out for mid, he got them the 5-on-3 instantly in the round.
A big round from him. Picks up the 7 frags so far in this matchup, only behind cadiaN at 8 and ahead of sjuush at 6. So a lot of big numbers posted by Heroic so far. 9 rounds deep into this matchup, they're looking like a definitive favourite, and there were the favourites coming into this matchup. The hero AK Eco sort of force buy coming in from FURIA. cadiaN has passed that off to Art to get the Kevlar in. Just Glocks on everybody else though, a PT50 for yuurih. Not an amazing buy for FURIA, and they just need Art to get some impact. So far he's found nothing.
They've got a decent read of stacking up this A site with a couple of players. It does come down to the rotations. cadiaN re-smoking main now.
Yeah, well timed. Well read, well timed. Art's going to try and force the issue, and there's sjuush in with a double. Now Eco frag picking up the rest here for the FURIA side. Drop that AK and should be aware of it at this moment. They can probably get down in position to try and grab it as well, so they can get full AKs across the board for Heroic going into round 10. FURIA trying to force the issue. cadiaN grabs that that AK once again. sjuush. The corner at big box. There's a little bit pressured here by the pistols, but ultimately cadiaN's there to bail him out. Refresh comes up with a pick. cadiaN, last man left. He's known. CT's on rotate, and there it is for cadiaN, picking up the frag. Picking up the round for Heroic, starting to run away with this CT side.
Yeah, they are. They're putting a lot of pressure on in this first half, and for FURIA, they've got to be able to find a bit of a ticket back in, bit of a weakness in the defense, if so. But even with that, it's been pretty solid out towards that mid position. Refresh always getting aggressive with the nades of cadiaN back at Candles. Maybe something a bit quicker, like what we saw on that force buy out to the B side. A little bit more pace behind FURIA.
Incendiary's up mid control, established by Art, who gets the Mach 10 straight in against cadiaN, and Refresh caught on themselves of each other. And sjuush is going to try to find these trades, but only gets one of them. cadiaN with a responsive and Heroic, caught flat-footed in the mid control. FURIA decimating them with an SMG, and now they have the A site.
There we go. Something a little bit more pacey. Fast out from the mid position, trying to catch both of the CT, still pulling nades out. And stan and Teslas, this is going to be a tough retake.
Do they even go for the retake? Is it better just to hold on? And they've got position that they could potentially find in the totem angle. stan doesn't see Yuurih or VINI, and he doesn't want to press forward too far of it here. His teammate's way too back passive. There's a theoretical chance that stan can push so far forward here towards this A site and try and work off the back of getting out in the open and catching off at a flank angle. Trying to work against VINI for the moment, get that one exit frag, but the only player they might find at this moment, and SS will try to sneak forward. Jeez, defuse. This is a great attempt, but it might keep T-side players in the site. VINI does get caught. Test will go up to the bomb, however. It does also take Yuurih down, so at least that's damage done for Heroic, but it will be the round one by FURIA.
It was a decent bait, wasn't it? Just try and see if you're faking that you're out to the side. Art just going super aggressive, and one of the first times in this T-side that he's actually found some impact. Getting away with a couple of kills with the SMG, just up close and personal, and for Heroic, it was a decent idea consistently to put those nades down towards their elbow position, try and stop the rush. But if that comes through again, they're going to have to change their protocol at mid.
Yeah, they kind of got caught up in each other in that one, didn't they? So I'm not sure if that's just a protocol thing or just like a bit of a mistake being made. But either way, it cost them the round, so they're not going to try and make that same mistake again. They'll put 3 players towards mid this time with no response from FURIA. They're all in cheater instead.
One of the first times we've actually maybe seen some bridge aggression coming through for the city side. Stown's trying to walk up.
cadiaN's watching with the AWP. Case of a bait kill, fall back, draw them into the M4, get the secondary kill. Might get traded, but it'll be a 2-for-1 for Heroic if they can make it successful. They have a great read on what FURIA is going on right here. Yeah. Rotations inbound. The T-side players are going to focus entirely on the B site, whereas there's 3 players to hold off against them. Have left main open, but I think they've got a lot of info here.
This is a nice read, just absolutely leaving the A-bomb site completely. And for FURIA, it doesn't really seem like they're going to push A at all. You've got Honda out towards the elbow position. Timing is going to be everything for him.
Turned away from stan, does get caught. cadiaN going to reface, though he has no idea he's being flanked. TeSeS and sjuush get a couple more picks back on the B site. cadiaN caught back to a 3 versus 3, so rotation, breathing room bought. They're going to leave TeSeS on the site itself. No, they're going to rotate him to catch off as well. The bomb will commit towards site here. The CT's so far away as the plant does come down.
There is a bit of a gap in that smoke for the CTs to start and work with. Honda looking to take a fight immediately, but back to a 2v2.
Yeah, refresh finding VINI in the interim. TeSeS and him are so tagged up, especially TeSeS. Honda and Yuurih on 100 points or thereabouts. Still faced in from Honda, goes down, so it's all left to Yuurih. 1-on-2 for the 3K clutch. Time's ticking, a little over a half of the timer left. TeSeS faced in, caught off, there's a kill. Refresh now making his way up from temple. I'm not sure if Yuurih heard a footstep, he has an inkling of what's going on, and wins the spray for it. Get that 5th for FURIA. Heroic may have found a breakaway, but FURIA are catching right up.
And he's becoming the most impactful clutcher of this entire event. I think that's his 5th clutch of the event so far. We saw a lot of 1v2s and 1v1s being won up against that Renegade side. And just right there, just being able to show the class, cadiaN, it seemed like the whole read in the round was just so correct, but then just that late wrap in from elbow from Honda catches the AWP just looking straight up to bridge, and that just allows the full send into the A side for the Ts.
Heroic left with just an AWP here in this round, a hero AWP on this half by FURIA, eventually working down the economy of the CT side to the point of the reset right here. And they can equalize against Heroic, so this T side not going to let the CTs get too far out of control. They are still pressing forward though. cadiaN wraps the corner, gets Yuurih. What a shot to start.
That's just what they need. Try and see if they can recover at least another pick, because it's going to be into the B side for the execution at Ram.
A bit of a beat stack for the rest of the CTs here. cadiaN's going to try to get back with the big green. Mac 10 doesn't catch him. Good shot for the AWP, 5v3. TeSeS swings back on cadiaN. Good sandwich them in with a player. Transfer back to Refresh, does so much damage to the other 2 players, but TeSeS comes up with the pick back. VINI returns to the AWP and doubles back towards the Deagle player. Alongside sjuush falling the same, he's down on a 1 versus 2. There is a low HP player on the site and Honda creeping in. He's got info to both and an AWP at his feet.
Yeah, 50 seconds though. FURIA have got so much time to work with. Honda sneaking up from that left-hand side. Stown just hiding back in cave.
All comes down to timing. Bomb plant tapped once. Make that noise, Molotov in. Should force him back out, they heard the tag. They know that he's there. They'll stick the bomb plant for reals this time. Stown taking a fair amount of damage towards this, but the crossfire's locked. At this point, the T's just know that so long as one player stays alive, unless Stown goes absolutely mad, there's no way he wins this.
The crossfire's too strong. Just trying to see if he can bait them, get out the first shot, know where one of them are, but he's just trying to see if he can draw one of them forward. It's just not happening.
Looks in, missed the shot on VINI. Good attempt, but not to beat. FURIA will take some damage at least to the Heroic side, but the hero AWP's going to leave them limited on the buyback. Should still be seeing a rifle invest though, and yeah, Stan will buy into the M4.
It's still a decent round. You've got a very good chance of now completely resetting the economy for the T side. Art really doesn't have a lot of money. VINI too. Yuurih and cadiaN are even lower. 1,400 loss bonus. That's a hero AWP in the last round, and they get the AWP out again. The only limitation is sjuush on the deagle.
Continuing to round 15 buy as well from Heroic, just not completely off the edge of the earth at this moment. FURIA playing into the defaults for cadiaN so fast into the A site. Might just be an A play entirely. The Deagle is the only thing that's standing here. sjuush got all the pressure against him. Needs to fight on cadiaN. Can't land a headshot. He's tapping desperately. Smokes the Molotov to his backline position. Should get Molotov away. Alongside a player that's coming forward here from Donut. sjuush does get dealt with. cadiaN falls next up. So 5-on-3 is the T just clean house here to A. And I think it might be a save for Heroic.
I've been very impressed by these A tags coming through from FURIA. Just out from main itself. Get those smokes down. Cross out really nicely. Tessus does at least deny that bomb from going down. But cadiaN is still aggressive, looking for more picks, but somehow we get evened up.
Stoun's found one kill. Tessus gets 2 of them. As you mentioned, bomb being dropped out of Donut. I know they know where the 2 CTs are coming in from. FURIA, no one on the spike. That's about it. It's the end of the cross. Damage has been done, I think, by that HE on both of those individuals. And now the score lines, the HP numbers are a little bit evened up here between both sides. yuurih going to try force forward on a play against the low HP of Stoun. AK in the CT hands as Art wraps in against him from the back lines. Okay, Stoun's left a big gap to work with. The back's turned though for the T-side member. So's yuurih's back. Ooh, this could all come down to timing. Gun barrel seen, player's been caught, and now Art's on rotate.
They should have the information relatively quickly. They've dealt with yuurih. They haven't seen any follow-up. Art's been able to get over towards B. How does he play out the post plant?
He's had very little impact so far on this map up. 4 kills deep, but he's going to go hyper-aggressive towards this slight gap in the box. Does see Stoun as catch him on the jump face. The Molotov to stall for time. No util here. Tessus with the 1 HE, and that's about it. Art's going to fall back. And both CTs are out there. You can't take the fight on both of them. He's the forced away, time ticking away. No kits in play for Heroic. Scene of the first player on the defuse right now. Tessus ready for the kill. He gets it in hole, and Stoun can slip the defuse. Heroic can find the lead.
A very well played round for Heroic in that 2v2. It seemed like FURIA had the right sort of idea to get in towards the backlines, get into CT spawn, but they don't completely clear out that temple position, and because of it, it allows the kill to come through onto yuurih. Tessus just a straight spam through the smoke. He kind of recovered this whole round.
He did. 3 kills for him overall. 2 kills on the site, and the last frag on the last player towards the back of the B play. So, 7 to the board of Heroic. A tactical timeout taken by FURIA. Their second in this game. And you can already see what the basis of this buy will be at the very least. Art spawned down an AK, so it might be a hero or a force.
That sort of comes down to the crippling economy structure of FURIA when you've got that hero AWP round for the Heroic side with cadiaN and co just trying to see if they can get as many impact kills and just try and wreck the economy. So going into round 14, they're on double eco status, buy it up. You've got a couple of AKs, you've got a couple of pistols, and that MAC-10. FURIA have done quite well on these kind of buys in the past, though.
Very, very awkward sentiment to make. MAC-10 a cadiaN forces the forward, much like Art did in one of those previous rounds. sjuush can burn Art away, though, so there is a trade frag, even indirectly. The AK of Stoun now looks up here towards lane outside of Cheetah. Sees nothing but smokes down anyway, suspecting there might be a T default in play here. MAC-10 and cadiaN also trying to force forward towards mid. Could catch a flanking, but again, Heroic are ready for it.
AWP watching, doesn't miss the shot at all, and now they're just going to start sending it in towards a B side. They only get 1.
Tessus still in the back curve, lines up the next 2, and gets the spray together. Well, what seemed like a very simple setup there in the round for Heroic. 8 to the board, half gain. FURIA now crippled for round 15.
And Heroic seem to be a little bit more composed in the stressful rounds, the ones that really mean a lot, the ones that swing the economy. And just even in that sequence, cadiaN not missing the AWP shot to the over-aggressive cadiaN, that opening mid-pick coming through, 4v4, and then Tessus just holding the spray transfer, making sure that he's not getting uncomfortable and finding both of those last kills.
And a great effort on T-side so far here for FURIA. Well, that their favoured side is still CT by a slight margin. The AK here for sjuush. Trying to favour himself in this donut angle. It's cadiaN with the kill. Awkward shot from cadiaN. Misses it out. Still faces back in alongside Refresh. Gets those kills together. Stoun comes in with the backlines as well. And what was looking like a very awkward hold there from the T side does come back up good here for Heroic. 1 versus 4 for yuurih. He'll try hold his own, but surely should go down.
Yeah, very good start into the round for FURIA, but no more than that. yuurih does get away with one, but that's going to be it. 9-6 at the turn of the half for the Danes. Looking impressive here on Ancient.
Indeed they are, but they go towards their T side next, which is where things could get awkward. We find out how awkward it can be after the break. Absolutely, and certainly a player you want to highlight always is cadiaN in his heroic camp. He's definitely been putting up his numbers so far in this matchup. Can he carry that form going into the T side of the pistol round, going live so quickly? It's cadiaN that leads the charge alongside TeSeS. He had his own individual moments over the course of this, but Honda looking for a moment of his own. 2 picks found outside of Donut. cadiaN then to drop the bomb out of main on refresh. Gets sjuush as Honda finds cadiaN as well, and that's a cleanup for FURIA. A fast play in for heroic. It went so far awry.
It really did. They got that opening kill relatively easy, but then just the way in which Honda's falling back to the side, trying to just at least get to safety, but still has to take those pop shots, still has to engage in those fights, and he's got the backup in terms of the other anchor on the side of cadiaN, just looking out for the main position.
Great one-taps from Honda in this one, and obviously a player that you mentioned that you wasn't too impressed with over the course of this tournament so far, so for him to have a big moment, for him to start catching up to his teammates, start to sort of like even up the kill distribution on the FURIA side. Definitely where you want to be at for his own part. I mean, Heroic's kill distribution, we talked about cadiaN posting up big numbers. Everyone's posting up big numbers really for this team.
Just going in for a Glock round, smoke down into the side, see if they could just run out from main. If they can get a bomb plant, fantastic, but there's a very good setup here on the A side.
Smoke involved here for Art will suppress. Keep him at bay, Heroic. Fall away. Okay, well, that's something for the moment. They're expecting some sort of aggression to the CT side, but like you mentioned, just that one smoke to get them a bit more cover on the side, get the bomb plant. That's the only real focus here for Heroic. Bonus money going into round 18 where they can go ahead for the force bite, get the rifles back.
No, it's not going to be easy at all to be able to get a bomb plant, especially when you've got a crossfire of SMGs up close and personal, and even the incendiary can go down.
Jump facing, hoping for a moment, hoping for a pick. Here's all the footsteps. Art gets 1 and 2. Sounders get the 1 trade back, and sjuush follows suit on cadiaN. Honda's there out at Donut, gets his double up. Can't quite get the triple, but in the end, rounds the corner to burst fire and get his triple involved. Anti-eco cleaned up. FURIA back within 1 against the Heroic side, so the confidence that we saw from the CT forces of the first half may be about to disappear. They've got 1 chance to try and defend the lead.
This is a good opportunity for Heroic to sort of show what they have to bring to the table here on T side. We know that for FURIA, they're upgrading towards the AWP straight away for Art. I wonder where he's going to be playing out from, because we saw cadiaN was very diverse out in that first half, out from mid and candles, rotating between the A and B side, always looking for opening advantages.
Flashbang in, Heroic again getting to the mid control, not quite as aggressive as the FURIA side were, but they do some damage. They peek up towards Donut, takes them back and fall away. So all in all, it's a slight advantage in the HP for the T side. TeSeS walks up towards that mid control at the candles angle. Molotov in against his position will suppress him against Art, but Art's held with the AWP. So long as all he has to do is hold his position, ensure the Ts do not push.
This is a very good angle for TeSeS to work with, because he could just start waiting for the footsteps, waiting for the rotations. And if they hit the B-bomb site, he can lurk really, really late in the round.
Just got to deal with Art. That's the only real problem here. When does the rotation start here for FURIA? I mean, smoke's coming down. It might come in earlier. Still 3 players to defend against it. They might not even get a chance to set that lurk up. Fourth man even going to go ahead and join the fray here. Heroic finally lose first blood. Art picks up TeSeS, and Heroic just fake the utility on the hit here. Double pump setup, but only a couple of flashbangs in the second wave.
There's a big brain for Art to just hold that line, because for Heroic, they're trying to scramble the rotations. They're trying to force everyone out, and Art, he's still here in CT.
Starting to fall away, so there's a gap to work with here for the T-side line, but they've missed the window. Now Honda's holding position here, and Art's looking back towards Donut, where the CT's completely uncovered here. He'll catch the rotations to the Heroic side, seeing 1 player jump past, but only 1 individual. Now cadiaN looking to strike back. Honda's low. Art picks up a kill. Great frag on the first man, not quite the second. yuurih with the response. Refresh and sjuush, the last couple of players left. Second shot for Art down towards the Donut angle does not connect. The leg shot on the site does, though, so Refresh can find a trade.
They've just got to try and get back in towards safety, back into a bit of cover, and sjuush has got to try and clutch. They swing out wide, they swing out aggressively. FURIA gonna get up to tie in the scoreline.
And 9 all to the board. Heroic, decent bomb plant, but not exactly a decent round, losing all the rifles. Money will kind of be there. I mean, is it justifiable for us force buy here, Dwayne? It's a little bit lopsided in a couple of cases. There'll be some limitations. And there wasn't a lot of damage done to the FURIA side either.
Yeah, they can buy. They've got enough to get AKs and armor forward, few sets of util here or there. And FURIA have so far looked pretty solid here on CT, haven't given up many opportunities at all. And for Heroic, get that rifle round in, look to try and see if he can bounce back and not offer up the lead to the Brazilians.
AKs and Galil's in on the Heroic side, force the issue. Still a couple of AKs here for FURIA, so there's a little bit of firepower they can work with from cadiaN and VINI. And I think there's 2 players you want to have AKs on. It would be cadiaN and VINI. Maybe yuurih could be a better option, but other than that, like those 2 players have still been pretty impactful. Art ready for the shot, misses it out against sjuush. That's a big, big kill to open up with cadiaN swings back. Can't get the trade either. 2 players double up, and now it's a 5 versus 3.
This could be an instant save, especially when this kill comes in for sound.
Yeah.
Easy as that. Just hold on to your weapons, go in for the save, and just lose the idea of being able to put a lead on Heroic. It does seem that they are punishing Art a fair bit for missing these shots because he has been wildly inconsistent with the AWP across this map.
I know you've had a bit of a problem with AWPers over the course of the week here, Dwayne, and definitely for good reason. It is one of those roles that kind of requires a consistent individual, and well, Art right now in this isolated map has not exactly been consistent. Crucial missed shot there, costing the A bomb site. And Heroic will be able to extend back into the lead for the time being. Double digits on the board for the Danes. FURIA just got to hold on to these 2 weapons in the M4 and the AK, and that's a forced invest there for Heroic with the 2 Galils out. Get themselves a free AWP. Lose 1 AK, sure, but going to get rid of the rest of the rifles. Not quite for refresh. The Galil drops, which is fine for them because FURIA don't have a massive amount here for the reinvest.
Yeah, they'll probably still be able to buy it up. Honda can drop over a FAMAS to one of the teammates. VINI could drop a weapon too. Heroic just trying to see if they can just extend, put more pressure on, and for FURIA, this buy, we're going to see an over.
Shot is out. We've seen our fair share of shotty action over the course of the last couple of days, Blake. So actually, I'm pretty happy for Art. See whether he can put it to decent effect out to the B bomb site. At close quarters, perhaps. It's yuurih that will aggress him for Cheetah. Would have thought that a shotgun would be in a better position here in this angle. We'll try and trade places with the man, so they will get it into a bit more of an advantageous angle against the M4, which is ready for the first contact, but Art's going to have to take that first buckshot straight on Tess. Let's deal with him. Molotov back from yuurih as well will suppress the T side as they force him off angle. cadiaN peeking into the B side with the flashes coming over, but no execute just yet. No casualties taken.
Yeah, Art's just trying to take that drop.
Deals with him. AK sees the pushback. The bomb should rotate out towards this A site here. Like, sjuush is calling it in, like, rotate, guys. I'm right here, completely opened up. Oh, yuurih, a bit of an awkward play against cadiaN as he looks away at the wrong moment, but now it's all left to VINI. Got to hold on against this bomb carrier. Spray blinded, but Tess crosses, so now the bomb can go down.
Yeah, just get that bomb out to the A site. You know the VINI's here, and there's a way in which they could just trap him in Cheetah and eventually just get this AK to fall.
Yeah, awkward duels back and forth here towards lane, but Heroic are the ones to come out on top. And it was sjuush, all him on that A site. VINI now just looking for the exit. Probably could get caught by refresh with his back turned. Case of timing. Tess is also here. Wins that first fight. Turns away. Can't grab the AWP. That'll fall back into the hands of the T side line. And now there's got to be an eco for FURIA.
And there's a lot of fans out there that maybe if you've got a favorite player, you want to have his mouse sensitivity and you want to know sort of all his settings. Mate, I've got to know what sjuush's settings are. Just the way in which he just walks out from the A side. They've already lost the man disadvantage in that 4v5 to the Nova at Cheetah. And he goes, okay, I need to make a play. I need to create a little bit of space. Walks out onto cadiaN, follows up. That was such a beautiful couple of kills.
I don't even think settings will be what does you right there, Dwayne. I think sjuush is just that good. cadiaN also just as good here with the AWP, still leading the frag counts, but AK is around the corner for sjuush. And well, I talk about Tess having a lights out day a couple of days ago as well alongside cadiaN. Well, it seems that there's a new individual stepping up to the table every time here for Heroic. Last time it was Tess. Today it seems to be sjuush.
It's a nice extra bonus to have, isn't it? To have just more players on the lineup that can deliver in the important games. Nice little read for FURIA out towards this B side, but even for refresh, he's beaten them to the site itself, and Tessa's just going to be able to get the kill into Honda.
Damage has been done by FURIA though, so potential for some exit frags, but look at how deep the T-side are. And again, in this particular eco, you shouldn't expect too much from FURIA. It'd be unreasonable to hope that they win the round itself, but they'll give it the college try. Unfortunately, it won't be able to do enough. yuurih caught next. cadiaN swinging back with the USP. Knows that refresh is out there. Does some damage. Tags him to 15. So again, it's respectable HP numbers, but unfortunately, no kills here for the CTs. cadiaN is obviously forward. Does get cadiaN at least, but no more than that. TeSeS takes the immediate frag back, and Heroic find their 12th.
Now, they're running out of rounds and opportunities, FURIA. They don't have many left, and they're going to take a tactical, just realizing we have to really win this. We're down 9-12. We don't have a massive economy behind us. T-side has got plenty of money in the bank for them to roll with. Just got to wonder how much pressure is on their shoulders in a round like this, because it's not so much do or die, but it's getting close to that point.
I think maybe a couple more rifle rounds, and that's when it will become towards do or die. Heroic to win this gun round could be set for a 14-9 before the next buy comes in for FURIA. Of course, the tactical timeout taken by them as appropriate, because I think they realize the same thing. They could win or lose this game on round 22 and round 24. Ideally to win this rifle here and start to bring us back to a closer deficit. Easier said than done though. Heroic in control. AWPs and AKs. Big greens out for Art, AUG and M4s. Set and ready. Good shot from Art. Doesn't miss this time. Refaces, however. A tighter angle. Smoke down as to buy himself a bit more cover within the incendiary to stop them. The flashbang also going over. Lots of util being loose. Can get boosted up here towards the back of Platt, but sees no more of the T-side forces.
They just back off straight away, cancel the plan, because in that sort of situation, you're going aggressive and there's not even a trade. Art gets that first pick. None of the riflers can follow up, so you get into a position, okay, let's regroup, let's take this mid control, deal with Honda out from Donut.
cadiaN slow walking here to look into the donut position. Has one man to find. A second player could also peek in of Art as well. Or battle could be interesting. TeSeS taking the rifle battle and losing it to Honda. All important frag of the 5 versus 3. Now yuurih's got 3 to find out a cheater. Takes that first base, not that second kill. Down responds towards it. cadiaN gets tagged up in the inter, and the flashbang will come forward. They try and enter towards the sights down. Gets a double up on Honda next up. So Heroic have brought this back to a one-man advantage.
This is a decent position for the T's to be, and they've now been able to bring it back to a 2v5. cadiaN's waiting for another repeat. They're just waiting for a mistake. They've got time to work with. They're waiting for the CTs to just at least force a rotation.
30 seconds. We have seen 2 players on the B site hold VINI and Art. Set to the back and the front. Rotations inbound, Bastown looking up towards this donut angle. 20 seconds remaining. Flashes going over. cadiaN could get pulled by the backstab here at elbow. cadiaN's just in position in time. No, he's missed his window. And now they run straight into the A site. Should get this bomb down. Should set up the retake.
Now, cadiaN, although he misses the timing and he misses the opportunity, he can now backstab in from main. I don't know if they'll be ready for that.
Bastown's going to be covered off here as cadiaN checks out mid just in case. But very, very difficult site to hold here for Heroic. Very difficult scenario to keep under their control. VINI starting to face. Stown still watching. cadiaN makes his move up. Stown's right out in the open towards his main entrance, so it's a spray for a kill. Now cadiaN's got a hold off against the bomb defusal. Art. The AWP in, smoke down, on towards Donut. They've read it so well. Tap forward, Art's on the bomb, nades involved, shot ringing out from cadiaN, still can't connect it, Third shot, fourth shot, catches Art at the right moment. I think he's won it as well. They're back on the defuse, but no one's got a kit, no one's got time. VINI's gonna clear up, cadiaN's won it with 2 massive frags and an unlucky 13th for Heroic.
Bro, what is that? Honestly. 1v3 smoked off with the AWP. You need to hit the absolute impossible to make that round work. And you can see how composed he was. And as soon as he realizes he has won that round, that's when the celebration comes forward. The bomb getting so far ticked. Even that second defuse was not going to get there in time. What an insane round.
Yeah, lacking in kits on the FURIA side. Heroic getting blessed by that much. But a tactical pause still coming in for the Danes. Still a moment's respite to discuss things. They did lose a lot in that round. 5 casualties taken by the T's. Can FURIA look for a punish round? Well, they're going to go in with an AK and a Nova, but Deagles on everybody else. This is a half buy.
Yeah, no point forcing it here. Max round loss bonus, buy down to 1,000, 1,500 in the kicker. Just allow yourself to do some economical damage onto the T side, but that is one hell of a clutch.
That it is. And cadiaN just adding to what has been a stellar tournament for him so far. 20 frags in this map up Heroic. Looking poised to take it, but it's still got a little bit of work to do. FURIA almost got that round together. It came down to a little bit of luck, honestly, for that shot to connect through the smoke. cadiaN swinging out with the AK, sees 1 and 2, only gets the 1 frag, and there's way too many T-side players for him to get another. sjuush there with a responsive trade, doubling up onto the B-side entry. 1 player to the left, 1 player to the right. Looks back to those backlines. VINI gets caught, flashed off. The Eagle cannot get the shot on sjuush. Triple up for him on 14 points of health. Honda forced to fall away.
I like the approach there for FURIA. You're in a round where you don't really have a lot of upgrades. You've got the AK onto cadiaN, you've got Nova, a couple of pistols. Do something with it. Get something aggressive. Try and see if you can catch Heroic off guard. You get that early 1-for-1 trade out from lane, but no more success than that. FURIA, oh, this is not a good position for them to be in whatsoever.
Well, we did say Ancient was going to be a risky pick for them, and this risk might not pay off. Final tactical called in by the CT side. 5 rounds separate them from Heroic. 2 rounds separate Heroic from the win here on map 1. FURIA are in trouble, but by how much? The guns are out for round 24. I think this might be their last stand.
Yeah, without a doubt it is. Heroic, they win this, they win the map. There is really no way for FURIA to bounce back than round win of 24. Heroic have really put a lot of pressure on this T side. They have not given many opportunities at all for the Brazilians. A couple of players to go out aggressive from mid to start off the round. Just put those early nades out to elbow.
The pressure involved against Heroic, not allowed to take the easy mid control this time. It's down. This time he's on the AWP, I guess, to try and land a first pick on an aggressing CT player, which won't be given up to him, unfortunately. The Honda to find refresh on the late lurk toward the early lurk towards the B side. Shots out from Art, missing out again at point blank. Such close range, and Heroic overwhelmed with the jump face, the bunny hops, just the sheer numbers of players that they have around that corner. 4-on-4, cadiaN held back to the back, and Molotovs to force him out of position. Gets back towards Donut, at least still gets the kill on test edge. Doubles up on sjuush. Big stuff from cadiaN at last. In a 4-on-2 scenario, Stown and cadiaN are left to clutch here.
Incredible couple of kills in for cadiaN, and that really just swings the whole round in favor. Honda got the opening kill out from the lane position itself. They were able to trade out the AWP pretty easily onto Art by just baiting him and jumping around the corner, but it was cadiaN really the only player on the site before the rotations came in that did the majority of the damage.
cadiaN's going to double dip, tries to get a clutch, but that's not going to happen. Honda dishes out the final frag, gets 10 to FURIA. And again, that was their last stand round, but cadiaN, man, he was the winner of said round. Great 2K sequence from him. And a hero play that gets an opportunity now for FURIA. Rebuys will still be coming in here for the Heroic side. You'll see the AKs, the Mac 10 in for Stown. AWP for cadiaN, as you would expect. Refresh with another AK. sjuush rocking just a deagle for this one, so the economy has been limited here.
Not a massive amount of money to work with. Stown going very fast out for this mid position, getting very, very much spammed down by the early HE and from the AUG. He's down to 39.
Not ideal. FURIA just blind firing and living on a prayer in that position. Flashes forward, AK of yuurih. Looking for Stown next up. Catches the reload and further flashes go over Stown. Waiting for position. Just hoping that someone forces forward for Heroic. Molotov in to try to get yuurih to force forward of his own right, but so far so little's given up by the CTs.
And now we're even seeing some rotates. Honda coming back out to the back lines. cadiaN out from CT spawn, and it's going to be a lean into B for the Ts.
sjuush, first man in with the Deagle. Stown does catch VINI for a bit of damage, but it's only damage, no casualties. Blind fire from Honda as Stown finally falls. sjuush turns around onto VINI's part of things. yuurih grabs that AK, tries to look for the wall bank. It's cadiaN that steals it instead. Bomb plant to be stuck here by refreshing a 4 versus 3. He'll get it in the midst of the smoke, but yuurih rounds that corner, gets 2 frags for his trouble, and cadiaN left to hold it all. The AWP just rounded upon by cadiaN. Another fantastic hold there for FURIA.
It might only say that he's up to 17 kills for cadiaN, but these last handful of rounds, he's looked very, very impressive. And you've got to remember, this was the early 3-0 start with the pistol and conversions. Then we saw 5 in a row for Heroic to get them up to 14. Now answering back with 2. Heroic in a situation where money is just not really here. They're going to take a tactical. Only 1 left now after this one.
And FURIA are looking in a much better position than they were about 2 rounds ago, Dweg. It's all the difference a 5-minute period can make. Made some serious adjustments in the defensive line, and Heroic have been unable to break in. And leaves a situation that you see right now, a tactical taken. Forced by, probably, it's on the table, but I don't think it's advisable for them to take it. Mac 10 in for refresh, Tech 9 for Stown, the Eagle for sjuush, utility on several players, 2 pieces of Kevlar with helmets on the T side line. Another the Eagles were brought down by cadiaN, so a bit more of a half buy here for Heroic.
Invest slightly, try and get at least some of those AKs out of play if possible. Allow yourself to try and double eco and reset the FURIA side. Another fast plane to be.
And for VINI, gets both of the kills against them. Easy stuff against Refresh and Stown. Molotovs continuing to make their way up and out. yuurih's going to get back towards Wood and hold himself here with the AK. M4's in the back as well. TSS falls forward here with the Glock, continuing to tap his way forward. Does get caught by Honda again with the AK, and cadiaN and sjuush. 2 more players left here for the Heroic camp. Walk their way back in at some point soon, I imagine. Shall we just give up their lives and get the extra money together?
No, you can still got a lot of time to work with, so run the clock, try and see if you can work a little bit of this mid-default, get a bit of a boost up for cadiaN to get a height advantage. And FURIA not really giving all too many opportunities up to Heroic in this round.
No need to do so. Just hold your standard positions, wait for the pistol to move towards you, take those fights, win them like cadiaN just does right there. Deal with this eco, ensuring the Heroic do not steal one back from FURIA. That would be disastrous for the CT side at this moment, and now sjuush being the node entity will force the CTs forward. Try and bracket him in, try and corner him to take him down after time if possible, but either way, this will be a 12th here for the CT side.
All about just chipping in round by round, closing the gap, closing the deficit, making it as close to an even playing field as possible, and just giving him the respect, playing passive. Don't want to lose any of those rifles. Don't want to lose an AK. Don't want to allow a bomb plan to go down either. Missed Orb shot does come through from Arc, but repeats back into the angle and gets FURIA up by another one.
2 rounds of difference. Heroic back up on the buy here for round at 27. FURIA. A number of AKs to work with here on the CT side. A lot of firepower for them to deal with the Danes. And if they can win this next gun round, we could be going all the way to round 30, Dweg. Very, very possible for them. How do Heroic change things up? A bit more passive into the elbow angle. Molotovs are mostly forcing them to be passive here. It's now close against yuurih. Will make a lot of footsteps as they split their way in towards that mid control. No punishment here for FURIA.
Well, they're just so deep, really, out on this mid position and on the A side. Try and see if they can push forward out from the candles. There is a smoke down, and Honda's on the other side.
Can't see anything as of right now. No gap in that smoke. sjuush finally catches the man. Great kill. Opens up for Heroic, but nothing more given up.
Ooh, they've got a deep CT smoke, actually, to go in for a wrap. You don't see this one being thrown all too often.
That's really interesting, actually. Did Stown throw that lineup, I think? It's either him or cadiaN. Someone up towards that mid-control, the window angle. Either way, that is an impressive smoke that does give a bit more map control. Does force the CT side to think about things. They'll smoke down the CT entrance instead, start to try to split their way in towards the B side, so it's all a ruse, but they've got to get past this cheater inside defender. yuurih with a kill back on Stown, deals with him. cadiaN and TSS give up their 1v1 duels. They do find a couple of trades back on the Molotov and the AWP. The backstab completes itself. VINI on 6 points of health, trying to hold off against one good kill, but cannot seem to handle it. It's all cadiaN, 1v2. Coming in from the back lines here at Cheetah, kit in play, and AK for the retake.
He's got the nades, but he needs to isolate these picks. Beautiful re-smoke on the post plant.
cadiaN has no vision or breathing room really to work with here. Trying to find some sort of gap in that smoke, but it's a perfect re-smoke. Unless there was a player so close he cannot see them. cadiaN's just going to wait here, expecting there to be a cave player. All angles covered off by this crossfire for Heroic. A smoke back on the bomb. cadiaN still so close towards it. Flashbang out of position. Nade on towards sjuush. Should do some damage, but not a lot of it. cadiaN up close here. He's ready with a knife coming through. AK trying to bait him out. Awkward sprays. Neither player gets the kills involved. cadiaN does find sjuush, but will not find the defuse. Will go up with the bomb, and Heroic will get to that point.
That round from Heroic, it just all came to the opening man advantage. That opening duel, just the shoulder peek coming through from sjuush out towards the Candles position onto Honda, and they slow the whole round down. They start playing the time, wait for a mistake, wait for the info call, just really almost keep that round silent, work deep in towards CT, split their way into the back lines, and just everyone finding a lot of impact. And even in that clutch for cadiaN, he was just so limited with time.
Heroic made that as difficult as possible there for him. Can't blame cadiaN for losing that one. But unfortunately, it does mean the FURIA are on a significant back foot, and we've got to grind to OT here. We've seen Heroic concede an overtime on Ancient before, so it's not out of the realm of possibility here for the Brazilians. But obviously, they've got to go 3 rounds in a row to get there. Double AWP set up into VINI and Art. This could be the change-up they need as Art strikes first.
And just pick being found by the AWPer as they slow walk aggressive out from that mid position. There is a bit of a walk play out towards potentially a B fake to bring that bomb out to A. You've got a very, very deep pressed up player as sjuush out towards the A main position.
VINI finds the kill on Tess. Has a gap in that cheater smoke as it starts to clear overall. Shot from Art, not quite as good on that flick back. Takes a dink. Still could line up these 2 players, gets refresh instead, peeks back in for another good kill, tagging up down. The USP's enough to dish out the damage, and Art with a massive, massive 3K sequence. The 13th for FURIA as they stay alive. Heroic now got an eco to go for the buy.
Yeah, they've got no money. Absolutely no money to work with. So in this sort of situation, 2,400 loss bonus, buy lightly because you want to give yourself a really good investment going into round 30. Art just playing with the AWP, just being able to make sure he's constantly moving around, constantly being able to find impact. And, well, you look at it being lightly, they upgrade 1 Deagle, that's it.
Again, not much of a choice. Their main concern is going to be the guns out for round 30. Take this one right down to the wire. They will still try force their way into the A bomb site. Art misses another good AWP shot. The USP can more than account for it, though. Triple up for him. Back towards Temple, dealing with Heroic effectively, and that eco just falls apart in the back. And here we go. Round 30. Final tactical for Heroic. What can they change here, Dweg?
Well, it just comes down to maybe some of the mind games. What do you want to do in the strat? Something a bit quicker, something default heavy. We know that they found a lot of success getting out from mid and just taking straight duels into Candle.
Quiet in these last handful of rounds. He will go for the AK here, so no big greens out for the Heroic side. No snipers. Just VINI and Art there with their doubles. AKs across the entire board here for the T side. cadiaN that goes very, very aggressive here towards main. The AK set into the corner, ready to receive T side line, but so far so little. It's just slow walks in from Heroic.
Just getting and clearing as many of these positions out towards A main. cadiaN is aggressive. We haven't seen this before.
And it might catch Heroic off guard. sjuush rounds the corner, loses his head. So does Tess, and that drops the bomb. That's everything for FURIA now. cadiaN expecting more. Flashbang turned away from. Art's watching the AWP for the backline's position. This crossfire, unexpected and deadly. cadiaN's backed up. The smoke even comes in to suppress even further. A re-smoke down as that one actually misses out, unfortunately. But either way, Heroic down by 2 players and they cannot gain position.
Someone's got to make a play. Someone's got to even try and recover that bomb. That's going to be a difficult ask. Flash comes in. They finally get the bomb back. But look at the wrap coming through from Spawn.
Oh, Yuurih's ready for everything. Here's those footsteps, knows that they're out in mid, knows that they've rotated away with the push coming in from cadiaN. It will gain all the information out here. What's yuurih going to do with this? Knife in hand, switching back to the M4, catching cadiaN, dropping the bomb again. Re-smoke to buy some cover. Player facing so far out in the open, but yuurih still sprays through. Down traded back by cadiaN and refresh caught in the back by Honda. And indeed, FURIA do grind their way 3 in a row to take us to overtime on our first map of Ancient. Taken out towards Cheeto. Another lane default in from Heroic this time.
Yeah, Art with the AWP hasn't really been playing from this angle, mainly out towards mid and the A side, so be interesting to see what he's like up close and personal, smoking off the molly, but he's still staying aggressive.
Just waiting for presence, waiting to hold. Burst fire, the AKs and Galils, the AWP of Art. Flashed off position as he tries to fall back. Does get caught on the the little side bit of the doorway. Could have cost him his life if that smoke was not in play. That would have been an easy kill for Heroic.
Just the smoke exy down towards the B site. There are so many players on this B site, and the information just has not been given up.
Oh, they're waiting for this. Art. Warp shows they're in 30 seconds remaining. Refresh. Down and Testes. Gonna have to act pretty quick towards this one. The Molotov doesn't extend towards the big green. He still faces forward, takes some damage, flick back, not connecting. cadiaN burns the man alive. yuurih has found a trade at the interim though. Back towards Wood, 15 seconds. Heroic are pressed for time here. They're gonna get beaten in. yuurih gets another kill alongside VINI of the crossfire. Testes and Refresh down. sjuush trying to go for the backstab now. Down. Gotta get a plant in 6 seconds. VINI could catch him off. His pole position could also do the same thing. And Honda will wrap the corner, get his 2K, get the 16th for FURIA.
Well, that round just comes down to Heroic with a lot of time wasting, just not being able to get and open up the bomb site in time. They've got a lurk out from that mid position trying to cut off rotations, but they need more assistance on the side. Time is just running and running. Honda with a really good adjustment onto that mid player, being able to follow up with a couple of kills. Really finding some form here on Ancient.
Nice start, of course, for FURIA. Heroic, however, let that one get down a little bit too close to the wire. AK's in, M4's AWP, of course, 2 rifle saved in from cadiaN and Honda. The rebuy back for Art's big green. A little bit lackluster in the first half, but again, he's come alive in the latest rounds of this matchup. Can FURIA put him to good effect here in the mid-control?
Yeah, they've got to flash him off angle, or at least get a molly, somehow try and drive him. They can't just peek into him wide.
He's waiting for the elbow contact. Comes the face. Good shot, missed out by the flashbang. cadiaN connecting the opening kill for Heroic.
Just what they needed. Bait out the AWP and just follow up with an instant peek in. Refresh waiting for some further aggression. And for FURIA, they lose the opening man advantage, looking for a way back in.
Oh, Refresh with a fantastic shot. VINI turns it around, though, alongside Honda with a trade back on mid. cadiaN to fall in a 3-on-3. cadiaN still on the site as well. Got to check both the main and donut entrances. It's all going to be a case of timing, and sjuush has absolutely no idea. Honda follows suit on Testes, and despite the open line position, sjuush has now got a 1v3 clutch. The Molotov pulled out at the wrong moment as cadiaN takes the swing, takes the frag, and takes 17 for FURIA.
Okay, they have really brought this back. Remember, this was a 14-9 lead at one point in for Heroic, and it just seems like they've hit brick wall after brick wall, really not finding much success at all. And for FURIA, this whole momentum and shift to bring it back to OT, now they're actually here. They're striking on the front foot.
Battling on the front lines. 2 rounds ahead, 1 to go before they complete the 3-0 half. It can look towards a 19-15 flawless half, flawless overtime. sjuush already tagged the 28 here as sjuush tries to insert himself towards main once again. Art's already watching for position. Virtually no damage done to FURIA. yuurih took a little bit in this aggressive play towards Cheetah, but outside of that, it's very, very little that Heroic have done in this round.
Even just this boost up for the AWP to walk into the site for cadiaN, he's going to have to swing so far wide to create this angle onto Art. They're just going to have no idea.
Trying to bait in that shot, trying to bait in the CT to make a mistake. Still, he connects on the sjuush. And now Art's not missing any shots. cadiaN, however, does force him out in a mistake with a Molotov. Put down towards this donut angle. The bomb can push back in as well, but cadiaN's going to try and do a little bit more damage. Testes still lurking up here. The AK burst fire can't seem to catch Honda. Falls away as well.
And they're not committing with the advantage. They've got the A site completely opened up, but it's still a fake. They're trying to make a way into B. cadiaN finds his 2nd of the round.
All important frag, but now VINI and Honda on the site defensive. Honda gets dealt with. VINI does find a kill on sjuush, so he's a solo defender. cadiaN on rotation. Gapping that smoke to look for Testes here. The bomb's committing out of ramp though. Based in, spray down, tag the 77, nade to his position, and finally Refresh can win out that fight, leaving it all to cadiaN. So 1v3 for the clutch. Got to go for it in the last of the OT. Heroic, however, should get to 16.
Gonna go for a really, really long rotation out to elbow back into the mid position. And for Heroic, it just came to so much map presence being allowed, especially by cadiaN in particular.
Yeah, 2 kills for him in this round, extending his lead to 26 frags. Still, cadiaN is the top fragger, though. He really has had a monstrous game of his own right. Bit of a silent hero for the FURIA side. Does get himself involved for the first kill of this next retake, but again, just shut down at the seams by Refresh immediately after the trade. So FURIA hold the lead, but Heroic hold us within a round.
And this is going to be a battle that goes on for a little while. And it's always so difficult to call when you get into OT on who's got the advantage, who's going to be able to take the map, because it just comes down to who's making the right calls, who's capitalizing on early mistakes, and even out towards that B site, Refresh being able to get away with 3. Heroic still fighting back by the deficit of 1.
Going into their CT side, this is where Heroic did a pretty decent amount of work. The 9-6 half involves in their favor. Mains on, Vistown ready to receive against yuurih. FURIA with a lot of hell in this cheated position from previous Heroic faces, and Stown gets the kills to open things up. Finds yuurih, smokes back, and holds position. Does not go forward again. Instead, it's testess that takes that face out towards ramp. Sees the one man, still can't get the kill.
He's got to be careful on how far he aggresses forward. There's a lot of T-side players. They're trying to spam through the smoke, but they haven't quite found the angle just yet.
In case I was thinking of going forward to that flashbang, but he thinks better of it. The smoke. About 5 seconds from clearing here. testess will start to back away for it. Did not in case with the jump face, but still catches them of that smoke regardless. Great kill, great read for Heroic. 5 on 3.
And they're just desperate for anything at this point, for an overextension, for a player to just find a double kill on an entry frag. This is such a difficult situation for the T's to recover, and sjuush has made it even further.
Fantastic frag again. Another one to add to the tally for Heroic. 2 standing for FURIA. Art pressing into the back line. sjuush catches him off guard for his double up, and now VINI left alone in the 1v5, and that is the confident Heroic that we saw so early on in this matchup. The confident Heroic that was going to close it out. It's 16-9 at one point. Now VINI just getting rid of those AKs, trying to take him away from Heroic's position. So they can't get those extra rifles out for the CT side line, because that would be where disaster would strike. Had to try and go down before time, but at the same time it's also OT, so there's always that. Blocks involved, facing into the testess, dealt with immediately. Can't find that AK. He's surprised. He's like, where have they all gone? Well, they've been taken away from you. Smart call there from the T side. It won't make much of a difference in the economy game, but it does limit that firepower.
It's very intelligent, because you know as soon as that round's over, they're just going to go ramp and pick up all the AKs. You know you're not going to win a 1v5, and you're in OT, so you're not thinking about, oh, I'm going to be surviving after time, whatever it may be. We run the clock. It doesn't matter. Just get those AKs out. Don't allow the CTs to recover any of the ones that were dropped on the floor. sjuush is the only one that received.
AK's out for the Furious side. Still no big green in for Art. Down for cadiaN instead for the Heroic camp. And Incendiary is close to that smoke. Suppressing the lane defaults again. They're so ready for the crossfire here at lane at the ramp. Cheater entrance. testess re-smoke down to keep him at bay. You know that he's close. He's going to burst fire to give up his position, but still can't find a kill or attack.
Just hoping for a bit of a lucky shot, hoping for a dink, work with that information. But for the most part, FURIA, there's no lean anywhere in the map outside of just this B side.
Execution coming in with the Molotovs down, floats him, flashes over. testess struggles to get the kill on K-Sterato. 3 faces and he goes down for it. Stown also getting caught down at AHP. cadiaN with his AWP frag on the first man, but not quite the second. He's seen Honda. He knows that he's there somewhere in the midst of the smoke, and now he's out in the open. What's he doing? Just standing there, giving up his life in a 4-on-3 scenario now. FURIA can get the bomb down, but look how close sjuush is. He gets the bomb to drop, transfers his spray back to the second man, but yuurih can't trade him on 7 points of health though, with bomb out of his control. Backstab inbound from Stown, and Stown will clean up the round. 18 for Heroic. They're back on that point.
And it seems that Honda was just recovering from a flash out in the site, so lost, absolutely no idea where he is, and he's just out in the open. It means it's such an easy kill for cadiaN to capitalize on, continue finding impact out from that K position. Yeah, it was quick, wasn't it? But they couldn't open up the bomb site. They couldn't even really get the bomb down.
Quite unfortunate for him as well. He was fully flashed out. Maybe he thought he was in the middle of that smoke. He was for a moment, but I guess being pushed forward, it's very discombobulating when you just flash after flash. Heroic, off the back of that round, could be enough to tip them over the edge here. 18-17. 1 round for the Danes to get their opponent's map pick. FURIA still resting on the wrist because testess rounds the corner, sees Honda, but Honda gets the opening frag.
And they spot that bomb. It's early information up for the city side, but just being watched on for that overly aggressive play. They now start shifting rotations back out to the B side.
Down to nades. Lands pretty close. Does not do a massive amount of damage, though. AWP in for cadiaN alongside Refresh back here. Boost up for the big green of the AK. Looks above, sees Serato, going to wait for his chance to strike. Headshot on the first, sees the bomb planter, but cannot seem to get the kill against him. Stown gets Art, meanwhile, out towards the cheater position. Manic sprays from Refresh, can come through to do some damage, but not a kill. A 4 versus 3, making it 2, as cadiaN gets Honda through the smoke. It's VINI and yuurih.
It all comes down to the post plant, and they need kills. They need them in quickly. The CTs don't have a massive amount of utility to work with, but they've got a 4-on-2.
Backed up here with the AKs. Heroic setting themselves up for the force forward here. The time is against them. FURIA can just hold on, but VINI cannot. All left to yuurih now. Everything to do in this 1 versus 4. Taps basic, trying to get a headshot in. They're on the defuse right now. cadiaN's covering it off, and he gets his kill together for Heroic to take it. 19-17 at last. They've got map 1.
Incredible performance coming through, and for Heroic, while they could have closed out a little bit earlier, Jay, it comes to OT where they strike and really show us.
But a down-to-the-wire effort there from the FURIA side. A risky pick for them. It does not quite go well for them, so now they've got to buckle up for map 2 after the break.